last night, Bernie threw his supporters under his very own bus.
This election is about which candidate understands the real problems facing this country and has offered real solutions. Based on her ideas and her leadership, Hillary Clinton must become the next President of the United States. Hillary Clinton will make an outstanding president, and I am proud to stand with her tonight.
And of course, sadness ensued.
Transform America, and that revolution. Thank you very much.
Poor thing. But she has no reason to be distraught. She got what she wanted. Sure, it's not Bernie, but it's not Hillary either. It's a Herney. A fusion of both.
Oh, my God.
Guilty of cultural appropriation. Herney is Hillary aping Bernie, embracing a progressive platform that's now 90% more progressive. It's left-wing Raisin Bran with 2 extra scoops of socialism. Trashing evil banks, free trade, corporations, and small businesses while expanding the size and scope of big government, Herney has created a roadmap to success found on spectacular display right now in Venezuela. So this is not Bill Clinton's Democratic Party. It's not even a Democratic Party. It's now a slab of left-wing populism, democratic socialism, and vile identity politics. Sanders endorses it because he helped build this grim repudiation of the most successful system in history. And Hillary's fine with it, as is sad comic Sarah Silverman, who relied on tired old jokes, and I don't mean Al Franken.
Hillary heard the passion of the people behind Bernie, and I will proudly vote for her. Just a few years ago, she was a secretary, and now she's going to be president. Can I just say to the Bernie or bust people, you're being ridiculous.
So she's calling them ridiculous. That's like Big Bird calling someone yellow and feathery. So congratulations to Bernie. To realize his socialist dreams, he didn't have to move to Cuba. He moved Cuba here. All right. So, Juan, you've made this point before. Hillary's moving left to get Bernie's people. But this is an act, right? She's going to move right back.
I don't know. I mean, it seems to me Bernie promises that this is a movement, that it's not a one-time thing, and he has had success. The thing that struck me yesterday, Greg, was that his troops managed to change the superdelegates rule. You know, everybody was so upset about superdelegates all going to Hillary. They've changed that now. They had a compromise forced by the Bernie people. But, you know, when I was listening to you, I was thinking about how many of the Democrats now say they have no problem with socialism.
Yes.
I'm a little surprised at it.
Me too.
And, of course, the millennials, overwhelmingly Democrats, they really want government intervention in terms of, like, lower costs for tuition, health care, the minimum wage.
Well, mommy and daddy is government.
Well, if that's what you take it to be, that's who they are. That's who this younger generation of Democrats is at this moment.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, Eric. What did you make of the speech?
So here's what I made of the night. It started out on a really, really shaky beginning, and it got worse until Michelle Obama spoke, and then she kind of put a calming tone on things. I think it's a terrible start for the DNC. They should have fixed this before they got to this point. I thought it was very important what Bernie said. Even though we didn't win, we have enough voice on the platform committee that they've got the most progressive, socialistic, loving agenda in the history of Democrat politics, and everyone should be worried about that. One final note, and I think this is something the Trump campaign should pick up on. I'm not sure they're even thinking about this yet. Bernie Sanders started speaking at 10:50 last night, I believe, like 10:50
yeah, about that.
And he spoke until about 11:23 to 25. The networks were supposed to stop at 11. So there's 23 or 25 minutes additional time, and I'm guessing tonight the same thing's going to happen with Bill Clinton. He'll go overtime as well. Well, if Trump was smart, he'd be doing the math on all this and having people apply. You have 7 days to apply for equal time, and the networks have to make up that equal time to his campaign as well. And he should take that.
Interesting. Dana, do you think that I see Sanders getting a role in this administration as like the head of the DMV? Because I could see him just getting...
Because it will make the DMV work so much better?
Yeah, but he could just be...
But there's not a federal DMV.
It's expanding government, create the department of the DMV.
That's not a good idea.
The department of the department.
I think they'll get... You mean they'll give him a job where he's never seen again?
Exactly.
I don't think he'll take it. I think he does like the spotlight. He earned the spotlight last night. I mean, there's obvious... That's genuine affection and emotion that they were feeling for him. But I also thought that... I didn't think the Sarah Silverman thing was ridiculous. When she said to them, to the Bernie or bust people, you're being ridiculous, I felt like that helped break the fever of the Bernie people.
But wasn't it already breaking? It was dissipating, I thought. And
Wait, you just came out with some Bernie fever.
I know, that's what I was saying.
Wow.
It's
Bernie fever.
I got that once in the tropics. Oh, it was horrible, all down my back.
That rash was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was shaped like Texas. And it felt like Texas. Kimberly,
somebody call 911. More ointment for Greg. Yeah?
Yes. Did he do the right thing?
You know, he did, because I think there was a tremendous amount of pressure for him to bring the party together. And he's still a big winner in all this, like Dana has mentioned, and bowling, because he still has the platform, he has the leverage, he has a big movement and groundswell behind him. When you see that raw emotion on the faces of his followers, they are all in on him. And those are people that can continue to follow him going forward, that helps him to have a larger voice in the party. Now, if you're on the other side and you're a Republican, pay attention to that, because also the fact remains that Bernie Sanders is going to exercise considerable influence, and some of that will be in the forms of the platform and what kind of money will be spent on progressive programs, and which also goes into whether or not the debt's going to increase and how we are going to pay for it. And then there's our friend called basic math that has to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's not. I don't think it's good. It might have been good for Bernie. I don't think it's necessarily good for the Democrats. I don't think the country has moved that far left, and I think that puts the Republicans in a position to be able to hold on and maybe even win the presidency this year. It's not good for America. The laws of economics, the theories of economics are not going to change just because there are disaffected young people.
Right. That is true.
All right.
I agree with you.
But I think, you know what, so last week we were all talking about Ted Cruz.
Right.
So he finished second on the Republican side, and what did he do? He didn't endorse. So last night we have Bernie finishing second on the Democratic side, his passionate supporters crying and carrying on, much like, remember, Monday night at the Republicans, where the Republicans under Cruz tried to stage their own coup. So last night I think we had a similar event here, but Bernie handled it a little differently. And I would say I liked what Sarah Silverman said. I think these people were behaving like juveniles. Yeah. They never heard a compromise.
They just saw an election, a primary election, taken away from them, stolen from them.
Oh, come on. They lost.
On a roll.
Hillary got more votes.
So on the left, you guys made a lot of hay out of the booze that Ted Cruz wouldn't endorse Donald Trump. It's a big thing all night, remember? That night and going into the next morning till some other scandal happened, whatever it was, I can't remember. But tonight, I think you're going to get more booze. I think as she's nominated, I think you're going to get booze. I think when Vermont votes, you're going to get booze. You're going to get Hillary booze all night. So it may go on a little bit longer than just one event at the RNC that you thought was big.
Well, I just don't see the booze coming. In fact, I think what they've been doing all day is negotiating, because they see
negotiating the booze.
No, they're negotiating to have Bernie play a key role in this nominating process so that his folks won't boo.
You know who's going to get a lot of booze tonight?
You.
Me.
Exactly.
The mini bar, there's nothing in the mini bar.
Why do they have a refrigerator with nothing in it?
No, it's empty, and now there's a big debate over whether the bottle of Pinot Noir that you love is free or not. Someone let us know. Do they comp that?
Well, I left something in that fridge. More to come.